Peace,
Hey,
peace,
brother.
peace.
How
I'm
you
sorry,
doing?
man, for the little couple of minutes, man. I was just doing a lot, running a little late today, but everything is good, man. How you feel today?
I'm feeling good. How about yourself?
Man, I can't complain. Ain't nobody listening.
I'm listening
Ain't
today.
nobody listening, so I gotta be good. I gotta be good.
Right. We're gonna let a
You know,
few more
it's a
people.
blessing. It's a blessing to be in here with you, man. Thank you for being patient with me because I was just wrapping up some live shit that I had promised. Just in this time, I can't render. Uh, I only can render people, my friends and loved ones, you know, whatever way I can financially help them. But the other
Right.
thing I can render to people is a sense of stability,
Right.
uh, and hope and faith, man. Like people are bugging out, yo.
Exactly. It's that time right now.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I um I think that it's just funny, man. It's just funny to me. I'm a New Yorker, man, and I ain't gonna front. We some spoiled motherfuckers, man.
In what sense?
I ain't gonna. I'm not gonna front, man. Because my city is the biggest bouncing back city that I've been in North Carolina. I've lived in LA. I've lived in the Bay. We had Hurricane Sandy. Hurricane Sandy hit on a Saturday, right? Sunday had everything tore up. New York City had bus shuttle service ready to go Monday morning.
Wow.
Like people who did not have coverage, who's not covered by days off and stuff like that. They provided a service so that the small guy, the laborer can get to work. All you heard on that bus was, why the fuck is it? There's not no, ain't enough buses. Why the fuck is it so late? It's like, it's, you
That's
never can satisfy a super spoiled kid.
right.
So I'm sitting there going, if I lived in if that was LA or North Carolina, the city wouldn't have been back to even getting people around until maybe Wednesday, Thursday of that week.
Right.
2 days ahead, we was back running, and people still was like, "Fuck this, man! This shit is whack. I can't get to my cousin's house, man. I got money over there." I was just like, "Yo, this shit is crazy." So I try to encourage people so that they don't allow the fear to become so overwhelming that they lose identity of who they are.
Right.
You know.
I get
So,
that. You out?
but
You out?
what's going on with you today, bro? I just jumped. You know.
It's all good. It's all good. We here to talk, and we quarantined in. This is Quarantine Sessions, episode 16. I am with the legendary Prince Poe for everybody joining in today of Organized Confusion.
Hey, hey, hey.
Take us back, Prince Poe. Where were you at, and what were you doing when you were told that you were going to be quarantined in?
Well, I already planned. I had a show out here in I had a show out here in Denver in October. And I had to do like a little song with one of the promoters on the show. And you know, my man Precise, salute to DJ Precise One. He's a dope DJ, dope MC, but he also runs 45 King Records for 45 King. So we was already planning on doing like a couple of songs together. And you know what's funny is that like sometimes a bad situation can make another situation great.
Right.
So you know it was a couple of bumps and scrapes when it came down to this show that I did out here. We made sure everything pretty much ran smooth towards the end. But me and him had made a promise to each other, like, yo, we're gonna get together on our own time and try to create because everything's been sold through the internet. Everything is send me your verse and I'll send it back to you. It's became so robotic that we was like, let's get together in person and let's kind of share energy. So I came out here actually January 1st like to work on this record. And you know, my thing was gonna go back and forth, you know, come back and get some more done, make sure my parents is okay in New York, check on my cousins and them in Pennsylvania. But when this came about, it was just like, oh wow, okay. So the thing is that I always pay attention to demographics of my surroundings. In New York, when I come out my apartment, I would say within the first 15 seconds, I'm interacting with somebody. Whether it's a what's up, yo, peace, whatever it is, I give it 15 seconds outside the door in New York. I've lived, you know, my my two brothers is down in North Carolina, and then being out here in Denver, the demographics are totally different. When I go to the store on a Saturday out here, I might walk past 7 people. In New York, I come out my building, I done seen 7 people. That's not even the street yet.
Right.
So the interactions is different, but also too, I didn't go into a state of panic because I don't even know what I'm dealing with.
Right.
Like, you know, it's almost like when you hear a gunshot, nobody's looking at where it could have came from or what's going on. Motherfuckers just run. You can run right into the person with the gun if you don't pay attention.
Right.
So I was just like, what's going on with this coronavirus thing? And then article, the same page that Kobe Bryant's tragedy was on. And that happened in January. So my thing is that, one, what makes things a little bit more different for me is that I got a good memory. 2, I don't forget certain things in the news that was mentioned. So it's like, okay, well, if that's that, what the fuck is going on now? My dad always told me to be a fucking sponge and not a brick and ask questions. So my thing was more so, I was more concerned about my parents in New York because they're up in age, and I'm trying to figure out, you know, what kind of disease is this? What does it attack? Which attacks the respiratory system. So my thing was to stay still and pay attention to what the fuck it is. It's not, I'm not gonna just start running and run right into the guy with the gun. Like I'm gonna die on my feet. I'm not gonna die on my knees. So I wanted to know what was going on. So I only could watch the news a certain amount. I only could take 30% of the news because that shit is only as much as truth you're gonna get. And then just ask people what's going on in their towns, in their cities, what's going on. And then when I started seeing how it was coming down, I was like, wow, this seems like something that would definitely be a direct attack places that is highly populated, because it's about interaction. We are an interacting state. We like to give daps and hugs and play fight and hit elbows. And the thing is, like, for that shit to hit New York that hard, I definitely feel like it's like partially part of an agenda. But more so too, I think that Mother Nature had a small part of it too, because everything was just spiraling out of control. Like you got so many beautiful women online showing their bodies. They got nice bodies. I'm into that contour shit. I like that shit. I like shape and ooh-wee. But what's next?
Right.
Like, where are we going with this? Like, and that's my thing, is I see a whole bunch of random stuff happening, and then this thing comes along and just halts everything. So it was, I'll be honest with you, it made me laugh. It made me laugh because I always like to see how players play under pressure.
Right.
You are a great shooter, but can you shoot with somebody in your face?
Right.
That's what made the Kenny Andersons great. That's what made the Michael Jordans great. It's not just them having rings. It's just about the sportsmanship of never giving up and being able to work under pressure and still deliver. That's like, it's beautiful, man. So it's like, you know, God ain't got no punks in his army.
Right.
And we have a history of these eras of Renaissance happening. You know, we've studied in school. I can't stand social studies. I can't stand it. You know, I never was my favorite topic. But this is that evolution of that same of the same history, that we have these plagues, we have these challenges, and you know, Black Monday and all these different things that they have. And to me, it's just a test of your wit, because we have no control of it. We live in a business called America.
Right.
And we have a tendency of worried about things that we have absolutely no control over, or we worry about a situation with people and we don't have no control over that person either. So it's like we put all this burden on ourselves. And I think that it makes life definitely harder for us to live by not allowing the powers that be, like, you know, people use terms, take it to God and leave it there. What's the other one? God is my light, my salvation, and God is my pilot. I'm just the co-pilot. Then why are we having these extensive, long-ass conversations about shit that we don't have no control over? It's almost like you questioning your God.
Right.
So my thing is, get on platforms like this, build with brothers like you, try to put some energy out there, because like I said, being to so many funerals, man, I don't know about other people, but death has taught me to live over the years. Like the pain is so immense of these people that are so powerful in our lives, aunties, cousins, neighbors, friends, teachers, and we go and we do the same cliche shit. Yo, we got to stay in contact more and we got to be more of the better people. That shit is a fucking hypocritical thing when you're not at least making a valiant effort to do that shit.
I agree.
You know?
Right.
And it's fucked up. It's very fucked up, because there ain't nothing, ain't no pain like seeing a child that's younger than you stretched out in a funeral home. And we're gathering to celebrate their life, and we're saying things that we're not even going to manifest.
Right.
I at least gotta say, let me pick up the phone. Let me hit him right now. Let me at least put an effort into doing it. And the thing is, most times when you say you want to do something, the hardest part is you stop. The hardest part is you shutting the fuck up and stop saying it. That's the hardest part of it. The easy part comes when I say, damn, I just spoke to my bro the other day. Let me just, and you dial. Once you get on the phone, everything is all peace. You don't, and there's only two ways to grow old. You're gonna grow old with a bunch of memories and laughter and visions of just happiness and bliss, or you're gonna grow old with the shoulda, coulda, woulda mentality. I shoulda, wish I would. I coulda, would. I shoulda, coulda. I woulda, shoulda, coulda. And then you wonder why old people are bitter, because they're looking at you like son of a bitch, but they're saying, I'm mad at myself because I didn't do that shit.
Right.
And the thing is that once you get to that point, it's too late. It's too late. And the thing is that's what I'm saying. A lot of people go to their graves with a lot of regret. And that's what makes death harder. It's wrestling with your regrets till you die.
Exactly.
So this thing, I've been sitting still. Denver is a very original place, I can say. The people are very peculiar and dope. But, some of them are dope, some of them are different. But what I like is that there's a lot of space out here. I'm a mile higher. And, this should have my chest tight for like the first month and a half. But now, all my people's out here telling me that when you go back to New York, you're going to run circles around cats if you play ball and shit like that. So I'm just trying to take advantages of the pros. Because we keep saying, we started from the bottom, now we're here. We came from the bottom. Y'all from the bottom. Y'all from the ghetto. So if you're from the bottom, your mentality got to be in a certain perspective. There is no more bottom. There is no more lower than you can go. So either you're going to look at the cup half full or half empty. And I'm at a point in my life where I have to look at it half full, because there was people that came before me that had it worse. I don't know what it would feel like for me to be going to a water fountain and motherfucker like, hey, nigger, you can't drink there. With the attitude I got now, I wouldn't even respond back. I just straight punch him in the fucking throat. I know I would do that. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm already past the ignorance. I'm like, oh, you got it stamped. I'm just your nigger. Okay, cool. We got that. So I'm going to be the nigga that you might have been thinking I am. I'm going to be that for you with an ass whooping.
Right.
And that's just my attitude now. But that's not the attitude you needed to have for that period of time.
Right.
And I know that. So because of our ancestors, our guardians, whether it's your parents, whether it's your aunt, whether you came up in the system and you had guardians, it is our responsibility to ourselves to remind ourselves that this fight that we're fighting started before we were born. So how hard are you going to be on yourself, or how hard are you going to go to maintain some changes or to create some changes for better?
Right.
You know, you can't be but so hard on yourself when it's like you're fighting a big ass monster that's been fighting your family for generations. You're just joining in on a new part of the fight.
Right.
So now, bringing it back full circle to this. I don't know where this shit came from. All I do know is that I got a partner named Farrell Mons that I care about tremendously. That's my brother. And he has chronic asthma. So I'm being very concerned about him, my parents, my other friends. I got friends that got diabetes, that's going to dialysis. I'm just thankful that I'm not there. And the reason why I don't want to be there in New York because I know my heart is big. And I know for a fact that it would have made me hard-headed because I would have been very concerned about the elders that I know. Me being out here is forcing me to be disciplined. Because if I was in New York, it's like at least 6 elders that I would have went to go see. I don't give a fuck if I'd have been taking a chance. I just would have been concerned about them having some food and having certain things that they need because the elders is what gave me these certain jewels you just can't get on your own.
Right. And
I'd have took the chance. And I could have put my life in jeopardy, but I wouldn't have gave a fuck. I know for a fact that I would have took the chance because I feel the elders like that, man. I just, you know, I've heard some stories and if people really would listen to some elders, man, they went through some wild shit, man. I'm telling you, they went through some shit that we have this freedom here, you know. It's crazy.
What do you think that you've learned the most about yourself since you've been quarantined in?
That when you are ready to make changes for your life, that you can't be concerned about what other people think. Like about 10, 12 years ago, I was like, yo, I got to get some more patience because this alpha in me is going to end up getting me in trouble. Either, you know, everybody always say dead or in jail, and that's cliche. But yeah, when you out in the world, you're trying to be justified, you're trying to live a little righteous, you're going to get tested. And what I would say that this taught me was, don't listen to nobody, because now I have this certain level of patience. And I'm cracking up every day. Like, I'm seeing stuff that's funny every day because no one has patience. Like, no one wants to wait. No one wants to say, well, tomorrow's a new day. And everybody has to come upon something that tells you that life is yin and yang. It has to be where you're assertive, and it has to be where you're patient. We got a check for when we was signed. The last big check we got was, our deal was close to $700,000, and we got a check for $140,000. Wow. I don't know about other people, but see, even when you're trying to get money and step your game up, you still need patience. Because when we deposited that check, they was like, okay, the check will be clear in 2 weeks. Yo, God, that was the longest 2 weeks of my fucking life waiting for that fucking money, trying to sit there and go to sleep, close your eyes, open your eyes back up like, yeah, it gotta be Tuesday. Nigga, it's 5 minutes from when you went to sleep. That was the longest 2 weeks of my life.
Right.
So now when the money clears, you are so strung out, like just so, you know, just drained from waiting and what you're gonna do and how you're gonna do this song, and you want to buy your mom's a new bed, and you know, it's just these things is going through your head. And I'll never forget, Mom's was like, yo, how much money you gonna take? I said $3,000. That's all I want. I'm tired. Fuck that money. I was just so, you know, drawn out. But that's what I'm saying. Like, at that point, I realized that you cannot get around this life without having some sort of patience. The same way how you ready to go gun-ho, you ready to go to Vegas, you ready to go to Dubai, is the same way you got to know how to stay still. You can't have yin without yang. And that's what's fucking people up now. They're so used to yin, 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 yin. Now the yang came in, they're like, what? What? Me stay still? And the crazy thing is, if you really monitor what they're going to go out there and do, except for the people that's going to work, is that people want to do what they want to do, when they want to do it, how they want to do it, where they want to do it. And it doesn't go that way. Right. You know, nothing in life goes that way. If you're going to drink Hennessy and fucking eat KFC 3 times a month. It got to be 4 times a month that you have some type of spinach and water and pomegranate juice and fucking fruit. You can't just all be, you know, it can't be all yin and yang. It got to be yin and yang.
Right.
Our people are dying because they work.